Water. It's such a simple chemical substance, and yet it provides the foundation for all life as we know it today. Consuming water allows the human body to perform various important metabolic functions like thermoregulation and digestion. In contrast, various studies have shown that even a small amount of dehydration can have adverse effects on your physiological performance. These might include more short-term effects like headaches, dizziness and fatigue, or otherwise more long-term effects like increased risks of cancers, kidney stones or salivary dysfunction. So then, to avoid these risks, how much water should one drink per day? Well, it differs from person to person, but according to the Australian government, the average male aged 19 to 30 should drink about 3.4 litres of water a day. The following video is a self-monitoring experiment. We'll use behavioural interventions to assist a participant who is concerned about their lack of daily water intake. The goal of this activity was for our participant to drink an average of 3 to 3.4 litres of water a day. The intervention used was a mobile alerting system that reminded the participant to consume water throughout the day. This method has been used in previous research and has been shown to be effective in changing behaviour. The participant in question is a 22-year-old male who's an undergraduate student studying a Bachelor of Psychology at La Trobe University. To get the data, we used this self-monitoring sheet. The sheet records the participant's daily water intake, their daily activities, and their rating of fatigue at 5 p.m, ranging in severity from 1 to 4, where 1 is little to none and 4 is severe. The reminder system used incremental notifications on the participant's mobile phone. The participant filled out the self-monitoring sheet twice, once per week for 2 consecutive weeks. On the first week, no interventions were used so that we could get some baseline data that would later show the effectiveness of our reminder system. On the second week, the participant received incremental notifications reminding them to drink 500 millilitres of water. These notifications were sent every 2 hours from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. on the day. A comparison of the results from the baseline week and the intervention week show a drastic increase in water consumption. The average daily intake for the first week was about 1.1 litres compared to the average water intake for the intervention week, which is about 3.4 litres. Furthermore, the participants' reported level of fatigue was greater in the baseline week than it was in the intervention week, which you can see there on the graph. So with those results in mind, what were the strengths and weaknesses of our monitoring and intervention strategy? Well, the goal for the participant was to drink an average of 3 to 3.4 litres a day by setting reminders on their phone, a method which has been shown to be effective in previous research. Well, the self-monitoring sheet was simple enough that the participant could easily complete it at the end of each day. However, they did report diminishing motivations to fill it out, especially towards the end of the second week. And this brings into question whether this method could be effective over a more long-term assessment period, and any future research should consider this as a limitation. The monitoring sheet also required the participant to record their level of fatigue at 5 p.m. on the day. Because fatigue has been identified as a symptom of dehydration, this was included to see if the intervention would have any correlation. The results show a small inverse relationship between water intake and fatigue, however they weren't significant. Additionally, the validity of the results may be hindered because they were purely anecdotal and may have other confounding variables such as sleeping patterns. The self-monitoring sheet also recorded the participants' daily activities. However, it seems the only activity which influenced water intake was exercise, which you can see on Thursday, but it doesn't vary enough to warrant including it on future tests. As for the reminder system, the average intake for the intervention week was 3.4 litres, and that's up from an average of 1.1 litres in the baseline week. This means that not only was our reminder system successful in achieving our goal, but it also made a dramatic difference in behaviour. But there is one limitation which should be noted, and that's the fact that it requires a mobile phone and also for the participant to constantly have it with them. In terms of future research, you could apply this intervention to other clinical settings, namely weight loss or dietary assistance that requires a certain amount of water intake. To sum up, water intake is essential for many of our biological functions required for survival, and dehydration can have a plethora of adverse effects on our health. Self-monitoring and behavioural interventions are an effective means of controlling a desired behaviour, like drinking more water. The reminder-based interventions successfully increase the water consumption for the participant, and these findings could have many positive implications in a broad variety of future research. Thanks for watching.